Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So we got a bunch of stuff presently going on. It's amazing everything that we have to talk about. We have the new travel ban rule that was from the Supreme Court. Turns out they are going to allow it. We'll be getting to that. We also have a new accusation. It's not really a new accusation, but it's a new piece of evidence that the Washington Post has come up with pertaining to Roy Moore. And we'll be discussing that a little bit later on in the broadcast. But I tell you, it's just amazing to me, all of these sexual assault allegations that are just traveling everywhere. I mean, we have this new guy that is apparently a conductor for a major orchestra that has come out, and apparently he has been accused of also engaging in sexual assault. So I tell you, I mean, it's absolutely insane, the stuff that we are seeing pertaining to all of this. And this is an article from NBC News. I want you to listen to this. New York's Metropolitan Opera has suspended the conductor, James Levin, after sexual abuse claims. I'm going to read this again. The New York Metropolitan Opera has suspended conductor James Levin after sexual abuse claims. I believe it's Levin or Levine. I don't really care. But anyway, they have suspended this famous conductor, and here's an image of him. They have suspended this conductor over sexual abuse claims. New York's Metropolitan Opera suspended its famed longtime conductor, James Levin, on Sunday while it investigates allegations of sexual misconduct. Now, here's the thing. If you would just look at this guy, he really just looks like he doesn't look like a James, he looks more like a Humphrey. Like Baby Huey, okay? A human version that's a senior of Baby Huey. But yeah, he is, you look at this face and it's like, it's not funny what he did, but it is, it's bizarre. I mean, you just don't look at that face and, well, I don't know. I was going to say you don't look at that face and see a guy that commits sexual assault, but yeah, I don't know. It's just bizarre. He looks like an introvert. I'll put it that way. He looks like he is an introvert from his physical appearance. Just saying that. You wouldn't expect him to have the confidence, I'll put it that way, to engage in something like that by his overall appearance. And you guys can Google a picture since it's on the radio. To our video podcast viewers, you can, actually see the picture. But I tell you, it's really just absolutely insane, the type of stuff that we are seeing take place with all of these big names. I mean, next thing you know, you're going to find out that Big Bird or Barney was engaged in some stuff that was inappropriate. But then we also have the guy from NBC News that was he was from the Today Show, and I tell you, this was of Matt Lauer. I think Matt Lauer, how you pronounce it? Matt Lauer. See, I can't even get through these names. I don't care about these people. But anyway, Matt Lauer was found of engaging in sexual assault at the Today Show, and they ended up having to let him go. They had to fire Matt Lauer. Okay? So I tell you, it's really getting down to the wire here where God's just clearing all these people out, because, I mean, it seems like every single week or every other day we have a new update on sexual assaults coming out of Hollywood of somebody that has been accused. And here's the article from NBC on Matt Lauer, Matt Lauer at NBC. Matt Lawyer, a familiar face in the morning news as anchor of the Today Show for 2 decades, was fired by NBC News after a female colleague made a detailed complaint accusing him of inappropriate sexual behavior during the 2014 Sochi Olympics. The accusation also noted that the alleged behavior continued in the workplace after the games, NBC News confirmed. Apparently, Matt had another game. Later on Wednesday, the New York Times reported that 2 more women had made complaints about Lawyer after he was fired. An unidentified former employee told the Times that Lawyer sexually assaulted her in his office in 2001. NBC officials confirmed that 2 more accusers had come forward on Wednesday, and Variety published a more sweeping account of Lawyer's sexual misconduct with at least 3 women over several years. Today, co-anchors Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotab were emotional, and I don't mean to lessen the situation by mispronouncing their names, emotional as they announced Lawyer's firing on Wednesday, telling viewers at the top of the live broadcast that they were heartbroken over his departure but didn't know all the details. Well, actually, I don't really care to mispronounce their names because they are not accepting this as fact. But, it's I do believe this. And, the ironic thing is that he had interviewed Bill O'Reilly not too long ago after this and saying, yeah, Bill, come on, you're guilty. You know it. Why would these women just come out and say, and now all of a sudden it's happening to him. So it's kind of like, gotcha. But, that's what was, that was kind of a weird interview, situation. It's like, you're next, buddy. In a memo to employers sent Wednesday morning, NBC News chairman Andrew Lack said that the complaint prompted a serious review and represented a clear violation of our company's standards. Well, I'd hope so. Lack said it was the first complaint lodged against Lawyer 59 for his behavior since he took over as anchor of the show in 1997, but there was reason to believe it may not have been an isolated incident. So there were several. So this is what NBC said. Our highest priority is to create a workplace environment where everyone feels safe and protected, and to ensure that any actions that run counter to our core values are met with consequences no matter who the offender, Lack said. Now, guys, I got to tell you, the thing that's really intriguing about all this is because NBC, CNN, and all these other news agencies were making it out like it only had to do with Fox News when this entire thing came out over Bill O'Reilly, okay? They were saying this is just Fox News. Fox News is filled with a bunch of sexual assaulters and a bunch of rapists, and we're going to use this to damage a news agency. Well, it turns out that there's a lot more than Fox that's engaging in this. And a matter of fact, it makes Bill O'Reilly's story the lesser, honestly, of all these because, Bill, from what I was reading about this entire thing, it was quite, number one, the accusations against him were heavily questionable because the person that was going after him clearly had a vendetta against him, and these accusations were just believed as being fact. And a lot of times what these news agencies do, if a woman would come out and accuse somebody of committing an act of sexual assault, the news agencies try to keep it hush-hush, so they pay the person off to shut them up, basically, because just the mere accusations that are flying around out there, even if they're true or not true, they can easily destroy a person's credibility. They can easily destroy the news agency's credibility just by merely talking about it. So they try to silence them with hush money, be they accurate or not. And that's why it's unfortunate, because you have really no idea if the accusations are true or if they aren't true unless there is some form of evidence other than a he said, she said scenario. So, I mean, it's innocent until proven guilty, so prove that they're guilty. Well, it's hard to do that, be they guilty or not. So it really creates an awkward situation. All that we can rely on is basically the body language of the accuser and the body language of the person that has been found or has been accused of all this entire thing. So we really don't have a whole lot to go on. And you have some evidence that comes up, as in this Roy Moore situation. But then again, when you present the yearbook, then what comes out about the yearbook? That the signature of Roy Moore does not align with his signature presently. And apparently, from what we'll be talking about here soon, very shortly, there's a new piece of information that has come out where one of the other accusers of Roy Moore has come up with this card that has Roy Moore's signature on it. But, it's really still questionable because, it's just the way that this stuff is presented. I don't like it. It does not sound legitimate. And it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove their claims. All that it proves at the very maximum, if that is even true, is that they had met Roy Moore in their past. Okay? And maybe a few of them would insinuate, well, maybe he knew you. Maybe he didn't. It's insanity. And it's hard to sort it out as to whether or not these accusations are legitimate. Now, with Matt, they have gone back and they have gotten accounts from other people that have just, flippantly made remarks of what he has done to them in their past. I forget what that one lady is, what her name is. She was with Regis for a while, and she was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I forget what her name is. It'll come to me here in a minute. But anyway, when you have these flippant allegations that have been taking place over the years, and now all of a sudden they start to make sense, that's an indication that the story is accurate. But I don't know. It's just really bizarre. And the responses from these accusers can also serve as a determining factor of if they're guilty or not. So I tell you, it's really Meredith Vieira. That was it. I knew it would come to me eventually. Meredith Vieira said that that Matt Lawyer had a problem with pinching her rear end. Okay, so it's just stuff like that. I mean, that was an allegation that was made a long time ago when it wasn't even considered an allegation. It was just, recognized as inappropriate conduct. But I tell you, this stuff is just absolutely ridiculous. The moral of the story is don't make inappropriate advances at people, don't sexually assault people, and, basically be a good Christian, okay? And that's really what it comes down to. Do what the Bible says, and then none of this stuff would happen. But it's hard to do what the Bible says when you don't have the Spirit of God living on the inside of you. So anyway, that's another thing. But hey, you atheists have a good time avoiding that. Because I tell you, there's just a lot of these ridiculous events that are taking place. And why in the world would someone throw their entire life away just to make a sexual advance at someone? It's dumb. It is absolutely stupid. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you express better caution? And the thing is that not long ago, they were chastising Mike Pence because Mike Pence said that he wouldn't go anywhere with a woman by herself. He would always make sure that someone else was present with him. He would never go with a woman alone. Why? Because he didn't want accused of having an affair on his wife, number one, and number two, sexually assaulting the woman. And what did all the news agencies say? Well, Mike Pence, this just means that he doesn't trust women. This is a male chauvinist. This is a male sexist, misogynist. And what did it really turn out to be? Mike Pence was, aware of what could very well happen with his position of leadership and power, and he knew that he had to have someone beside of him at all times when he's around females. Why? So no one could accuse him of anything. So no one could accuse him of sexually assaulting someone. Why did he do that? Because of what we're seeing take place now. And now it's on a massive scale, and Mike Pence is just able to sit back in his recliner and say, that's not going to be me, because he has an account for every single place he's ever been. Someone's always been with him. He's never gone to see the opposite sex alone.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time. You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me tell you about a great company, NerdProWriting.com. NerdPro Writing is absolutely wonderful. They assist students in middle school, in high school, in college with writing essays, and they're a company that can be of great help if you know somebody or if you are the one struggling in getting your work turned in. They have absolutely great professional services at a very affordable cost, so go there right now. That is NerdProWriting.com. That is NerdPro Writing.com.
Refresh, replenish, restore, and hydrate the right way with Progene Premium Electrolyte Enhanced Water. Unlock the alkaline pH performance power of professional athlete developed and fitness community endorsed Progene Water. Available in 9.5 pH electrolyte enhanced or our new all natural 8.0 pH additive free mineral spring water. Available at 7-Eleven and online at Amazon.com. Progene Water, hydrating the world one bottle at a time.
All children around the world deserve an education. Sadly, not all children have that opportunity. Distance Teaching and Mobile Learning is a non-profit organization dedicated to transforming the lives of children in impoverished areas of the world. They believe that education not only transforms lives, but rebuilds economies. Distance Teaching and Mobile Learning are doing incredible work right now in Uganda, Ethiopia, Venezuela, and Colombia, and are asking you to support their important work. A donation of just $20 can make a change in the life of a child. Also, corporate sponsors are welcome. To learn more and to donate, visit blog.dtml.org. Students are waiting for your help. blog.dtml.org.
You're listening to the home of Caiden Cowger on your local station, America's youngest syndicated talk personality.
Today's show is brought to you by Go Epic Health, makers of Cholesterade, the natural way to lower cholesterol. Invented by the creator of Gatorade, Dr. J. Robert Cade, Cholesterade is clinically proven to lower cholesterol levels by 21%. Avoid the harmful side effects of statin drugs. Cholesterade works to naturally lower cholesterol and promote healthy weight loss. Order today and use promo code LDL25 to get 25% off your order, or find a store near you at www.drinkcholesterade.com.
Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, NerdProWriting.com. NerdProWriting.com assists students in middle school, high school, in college with writing essays, and they do so as a service. They're a relatively new company, just started this year. For more information, you can go to NerdProWriting.com. That is NerdProWriting.com. Once again, that is Nerd, N-E-R-D, Pro, P-R-O, Writing.com.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor. That's www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very big league. so bigly it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, so we're going to talk about this new thing that has just come out on Roy Moore. It came out today, not very long ago, probably a few hours ago. But anyway, what is taking place is that Debbie Wesson Gibson, one of Roy Moore's accusers, is saying that she has found in her attic, while holding out boxes of Christmas decorations, she noticed a storage bin that she said she had forgotten about. Inside was a scrapbook from her senior year of high school and taped to a page titled, "Those Who Inspire," was a graduation card. "Happy graduation, Debbie," it read in slanted cursive handwriting. "I wanted to give you this card myself. I know that you'll be a success in anything you do." The inscription, Gibson said, was written by Roy Moore, the Alabama Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate, who in recent days was repeatedly denied the accounts of 5 women who told the Washington Post that he pursued them while they were teenagers and that he was an assistant district attorney in his 30s. So anyway, okay, here's the thing. She just happened to be going through Christmas decorations because it's a holiday season, right? Yeah. And she found suddenly, oh, I forgot about this, a card that he allegedly had written her. Now, what are the odds? What are the odds that all of a sudden she'd find, oh, yeah, this is just spontaneous. I just found this out of nowhere. This lady, Debbie Wesson Gibson, worked for the Clinton campaign and worked for the Obama campaign as a sign language interpreter, okay? She was a sign language interpreter. She's a signer, and she worked for them to translate everything that they said into sign language so that deaf people could hear. But she's a big Democrat. She's gotten her picture taken with Joe Biden, with Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton in the background. And as soon as I reported this story at CowgerNation.com, Fox News picked it up and a bunch of other news outlets picked it up. But as soon as I reported this story, and she was also posting Doug Jones content on her Facebook account, she hurried up and started deleting everything. Luckily, I had screenshots of all this. And I just thought it was ironic, or really it was intriguing, that she was suddenly deleting all of these Doug Jones things on her Facebook account to make it out like she is completely unbiased. She's not a liberal. She's never worked for any of these campaigns. It's just sly. It is sly. Okay? She knew that she was caught. She knew that looked bad, and she hurried up and started deleting all this stuff. But anyway, go ahead and listen to this. This is the Washington Post's new allegation on Roy Moore. And as you listen to this, I'm going to look at the signature, too, on this.
Bins of Christmas decorations down, and I noticed one remaining bin in the attic. And when I glanced inside, that's when I saw the memories book. And I opened it up to the first page, and it says I was 17 years old. So I realized, well, this is my high school senior year memory book. And as I turned the pages, I came across a card, and it was a high school graduation greeting card from Roy Moore. Happy graduation, Debbie. I wanted to give you this card myself. I know that you'll be a success in anything you do, Roy. I've known Roy Moore for many years, and I met him in 1981, and we dated for a brief time, and we kissed with my consent, and I'm very sad that he's decided to say he doesn't know me.
Let me state once again, I do not know any of these women, did not date any of these women, have not engaged in any sexual misconduct with anyone.
I felt like this was the first thing that I've seen that I know personally for a fact to be a lie from his mouth. And he's spewing the lie from the pulpit of a church.
It's simply dirty politics.
He did not perpetrate sexual misconduct toward me, nor have I ever claimed that. But I now know for sure that he is a liar.
Okay, so here's the thing. All right, I want to look at this because we're going to get this right. Okay? I'm looking at this signature, and there's a massive problem with this signature, okay? First of all, I want to find out how old she is. How old is she now? He was 34. How old is Gibson? Because here's the problem, guys. I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of doing a multitasking thing, so please bear with me here because I'm going through this just as you are. Okay? I'm looking at this signature. And the original signature that was really brought forth in the media from the yearbook, okay, was allegedly inscribed, was allegedly written to this one accuser in 1977. Okay? Now, around the same time period, this graduation note was written by Roy Moore around the same time when he wrote to this woman. So it wasn't all that long ago. I want to get this woman's, I want to find out how old she is. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm sorry, I don't like doing this on air, but this is important. Okay, Roy Moore's accuser, Debbie Wesson Gibson. How old is she now? I'm still searching for this. Debbie Wesson Gibson age. I'll Google that. Because here's what I'm looking for. Okay? All right, here's the Washington Post article. So Nancy Wells, 71. Debbie Wesson Gibson. Let's see that. Gibson. Okay, Debbie Wesson Gibson doesn't say how she wanted to date 30. Yep, Gibson says. It doesn't. They don't have how old Debbie Wesson Gibson is. I'm going to find this out eventually, guys. But here's, long story short, what I'm looking for. And I'll go ahead and just tell you. The R is completely different. When I write my name, Caiden Cowger, and I sign it, okay, the C's are almost, they're not almost, they are always the same. They are always the same. My C is always the same. It does not fluctuate. It does not change. When you're writing the first letter of your name, that's more than likely not going to change. You're going to get it down pat every single time. It's the same way with my father. My dad has kept the same handwriting practically ever since he was young. Same way with my grandfather. When he writes, his handwriting has shifted a little bit, but as for the main W in his name, that's something that hardly ever goes change unless you specifically do that. But here's the thing, guys. There is, number one, with the first stroke of the R in this graduation card, there is a loop with the first R, okay? Now here's the problem with that. There is not a loop in the yearbook. It is straight, as Roy Moore's signature today is straight. There is no loop. Now, this is in 1977. This same exact thing was, the signature was allegedly written around the same exact time period. Okay? Now, the second thing is that there is a loop at the very bottom. Now, the loop at the very bottom is the same in the 1977 signature. However, when we get to the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the fourth stroke of the R, it connects with the second stroke. With the fourth stroke of the R, it connects with the second stroke. Okay? That's in the 1977 yearbook signature. Now, in Roy Moore's actual signature that we have, it does not. So what I'm saying here is that the signature that is in Debbie Wesson Gibson, the signature of Debbie Wesson Gibson does not match the signature of Roy Moore in the 1977 yearbook.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me introduce you to a great website called mugthebookie.com. That is mugthebookie.com. They have a wide range of sports picks and sports news to choose from. You go onto the website, and right there, you'll find a bunch of news articles pertaining to sports, be it football, basketball, hockey, and all the others. Go to mugthebookie.com. That is mug, M-U-G, the T-H-E, bookie, BOOKIE.com.
So, you want to learn Japanese. You've tried all sorts of apps that mostly let you type answers and click on pictures. Can somebody please let me talk? Okay, Fluency 365 is here. Click on speak.fluency365.com. That's the numbers 365. Speak.fluency365.com. The only learning platform that gives you daily virtual speaking practice. To try your first virtual Japanese conversation now, visit speak.fluency365.com. Fluency only happens when you talk. Speak.fluency365.com.
Like the Fiancé, sung by Unit of Elite.
So do any of you ladies out there want to learn more about what makes men tick and how they work? Subscribe today to TG2M Magazine, also known as Talk Geeky to Me Magazine, founded by technology founder and editor-in-chief Casey Austin. If they like it, think about it, eat it, drink it, or wear it, TG2M talks about it. Their website is TG2mmagazine.com. That is TG2mmagazine.com. Their Instagram is at TalkGeekyToMe10. Their Twitter is KCKAYECEETG2M. So you can check out TG2mmagazine.com. Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, NerdProWriting.com. NerdProWriting.com assists students in middle school, high school, and college with writing essays, and they do so as a service. They're a relatively new company, just started this year. For more information, you can go to nerdprowriting.com. That is nerdprowriting.com. Once again, that is nerd, N-E-R-D, pro, P-R-O, writing.com.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor. That's www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network.
Okay, so Debbie Wesson
America
Gibson
comes to talk.
She was 17 in 1981.
Somebody had to say it.
She's 17 in 1981. So, presumably, in 1981, she asserts that Roy Moore first asked her out. Now, I assume that she graduated in 82. So, if she graduated in 82, that would mean what? 1982. And then you would take what? You would take 1977, and that would be a period of 5 years. 5 years. A person's signature is not going to really evolve in a period of 5 years. It's just not going to happen because you've got it pretty much down pat. Okay? The R is most definitely not going to change because that's the first letter of the signature. So when she's showing here that there's been this huge change that has taken place with Roy Moore's signature over the course of 5 years, that's just bizarre. It is very bizarre. And not only that, this is not right. Look, okay, there's not a loop. Okay, Roy Moore's signature today has a loop. Okay? Roy Moore's signature today has a loop. The signature that is in the 1977 yearbook has a loop on the fourth stroke, as the actual signature does. But the only difference is that in the 1977 yearbook signature, it connects with the second stroke, and the actual signature does not. So, but the thing that both of these signatures do have in common is that both of the 1977 and the actual signature both have a loop at the fourth. Okay, at the fourth stroke. In creating the fifth stroke, which is the last stroke of the R, okay? Follow me. I understand it's hard to understand this on the radio, but it's a lot easier to see when you're actually viewing this for yourself. So I encourage you all to do that for yourselves. But here's the thing. I'm trying to explain this best I can audibly. But here's the thing. In this signature that Debbie Wesson Gibson, I was going to say Debbie Wasserman Schultz, but Debbie Wesson Gibson. In this signature, there is not a loop on the fourth stroke of the R. So what that would mean is that in 1977, Roy Moore's signature would have had to have a loop. In 1981, Roy Moore would have had to have removed that loop from his signature. And then he, somewhere along that time frame, decided to put that loop back in his signature and decide to alter, his signature that drastically. And that's just not logical. And on top of that, with the first stroke, he would have had to have decided to put a loop in that one. In 1977, he didn't have a loop in that one. And in the actual signature that he has today, he doesn't have a loop on the first stroke. And the 1977 one is a forgery, we believe. But assuming that all of these signatures that are being presented are legitimate, there's just too many discrepancies here. These are 3 different signatures that are being used to make it out like Roy Moore is guilty in all this. And I'm sorry, this is absolutely ridiculous, absolutely dumb, absolutely insane. So, guys, this stuff is just, it does not look legitimate. It does not look legitimate. The R is completely different. Why would he change the way that he made his R? That drastically. It does not make sense. He went from not having a loop in the first stroke in 1977 to having a loop in the first stroke in 1981, and then not having a loop in the first stroke in 2017 and 2016 and, basically 2000s. It doesn't make sense. So there are several discrepancies here. It is just absolutely ridiculous. And why are all these women running to the Washington Post? Why no other news agency? Why is it just the Washington Post? Because the Washington Post is trying to destroy Roy Moore. They endorse Doug Jones. So here you have an attack dog for Doug Jones that is operating and identifying as a news agency that is digging up all of this dirt and information. They're not independent. Which, if they had solid evidence, then that would be one thing. But they don't have solid evidence of this being accurate, of this being legitimate. So guys, I tell you, because Breitbart, how did Breitbart get Anthony Weiner? Because they obviously did not like Anthony Weiner. They were a Republican conservative advocacy news organization. How did they take out Anthony Weiner? They had pictures. They had pictures of Weiner. So, and that's another thing. They had, photographs. They had cameras in 1981. Where are the pictures of Roy Moore with these girls? Where are the photos? I'm intrigued that none of these have come up yet. Give them time, though. They'll Photoshop something together. But I'm just amazed that they don't have any pictures of him. They don't have any pictures of Roy Moore. Why not? Where are the photos? Where are the pictures at? Why have none of these signatures been handed over to handwriting experts? You know what the Washington Post did? The Washington Post said that they got a hold of a handwriting expert. This is what it said. Mark Songer, a former FBI forensics examiner, now with the firm Robson Forensic, examined an image of the graduation card at the Post's request and said that it appears to be naturally prepared. Songer also compared the image of the yearbook inscription to the image of the graduation card and said that the style of handwriting, as well as certain letter features, appear to be similar. He stressed, though, the need for a full and comprehensive handwriting examination to arrive at a final conclusion. Well, isn't that intriguing? By pictures, they do appear to be similar. They have similarities, but there are also several discrepancies. See, all forgeries are similar of the original. Otherwise, they wouldn't be forgeries. But the thing is that you've got to examine it, the actual thing. You've got to examine the ink. You've got to take a piece of the ink and find out when it's dated, which forensic experts are able to do. But none of these people are willing to do that. They don't want that to be done. And here's another thing that's intriguing to me. Why is Roy Moore on a first name basis for Debbie, but a girl who says that he had the same exact relationship with her is on a double name basis for her, a first name surname basis? Why is that? There's just so many things that don't make sense. And why are both of these during the Christmas period? Or, no, excuse me, one of these is during a Christmas period. The other one is during a graduation, excuse me. But I tell you, there are just so many discrepancies here. It is really highly questionable if this stuff even took place.
Cowger. Keeping America straight.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me tell you about a great company, nerdprowriting.com. Nerd Writing is absolutely wonderful. They assist students in middle school, in high school, in college with writing essays, and they're a company that can be of great help if you know somebody or if you are the one struggling in getting your work turned in. They have absolutely great professional services at a very affordable cost, so go there right now. That is nerdprowriting.com. That is NERDPRO writing.com.
Refresh, replenish, restore, and hydrate the right way with Protein Premium Electrolyte Enhanced Water. Unlock the alkaline pH performance power of professional athlete developed and fitness community endorsed Protein Water. Available in 9.5 pH electrolyte enhanced or our new all natural 8.0 pH additive free mineral spring water. Available at 7-Eleven and online at Amazon.com. Protein Water, hydrating the world one bottle at a time.
So you want to learn Spanish. You've tried all sorts of apps that mostly let you type answers and click on pictures. Can somebody please let me talk? Okay, Fluency 365 is here. Click on speak.fluency365.com. That's the numbers 365. Speak.fluency365.com. The only learning platform that gives you daily virtual speaking practice. To try your first virtual Spanish conversation now, visit speak.fluency365.com. Fluency only happens when you talk. Speak.fluency365.com.
Like the Fiancé, sung by Unit of Elite.
You're listening to the home of Caiden Cowger on your local station, America's youngest syndicated talk personality.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so it's absolutely great to have you back with us. So I want to get to this, get off this, sexual scandal stuff for a little bit, and get to this story out of the AP. Supreme Court of the United States has decided to allow the full enforcement of Donald Trump's travel ban. Listen to this. This is out of Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court on Monday allowed the Trump administration to fully enforce a ban on travel to the United States by residents of 6 mostly Muslim countries. Why? Because it's not a Muslim travel ban. The countries, just because we happen to have a majority of a Muslim population, does not mean that because Trump is saying, sorry, you're not going to be able to travel to America, doesn't mean that it's a Muslim ban. It just so happens that these countries that are predominantly Muslim, which I thought from the news media they're not, because these terrorists are coming out of these Muslim countries. But for some odd reason, these terrorists aren't Muslim, according to the media. So if these are terrorist countries, then how in the world is it a Muslim ban if these terrorist countries are not Muslim? Doesn't make any sense. But that's the mainstream media for you. Takes you a little bit to process the idiocy of liberalism. But that's just how stupid they are. They don't have logic. It doesn't make sense. It's incoherency. They're saying that those countries are not Muslim countries. They don't represent Islam. They are terrorists. They are extremists. But then as soon as we try to ban travel from those countries because terrorists are coming from those nations, no, that's a Muslim ban. Well, I thought they weren't Muslim. I thought they weren't Muslim, mainstream media. So what is it? It's because they are Muslim. And the media knows it. Listen to this. But the action indicates that the High Court might eventually approve the latest version of the ban announced by President Donald Trump in September. Lower courts have continued to find problems with the policy. Well, the Supreme Court didn't, so Opponents of this and previous versions of the ban say that they show bias against Muslims. But they're not Muslims, they're terrorists. But I guess terrorists are Muslims now, according to liberals. See how it conveniently switches back and forth? They say that was reinforced most recently by Trump's tweets or retweets of anti-Muslim videos. Anti-Muslim videos. Can I look at that? I want to look at that real quick. Twitter, Trump anti-Muslim tweets. I'm going to search that. I just want to see what these anti-Muslim tweets are here. You know, because here's the thing. Trump allegedly tweeted anti-Muslim videos. And they contain graphic videos of Muslim extremists. But here's the deal. And this is something that is intriguing here. These are supposed to not be Muslims that are engaging in this violence. They're supposed to be terrorists. But now all of a sudden they're Muslim. So why does the media find it that any time videos surface of radical Islamic extremists beheading somebody or engaging in violence against people, against Christians or whatever, as soon as that's discussed and talked about, that is having a negative impact on the Islamic population. Even Pierce Morgan, an extreme left liberal, said that the mainstream media in America is ignoring what Muslims are doing to Christians over in the Middle East. They are beheading them, they're killing them, they're slaughtering them, they're killing their children. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. Tomorrow is our 7-year anniversary of the Caiden Cowger program, so stay with us for that. May God bless you. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.